You're welcome, Nemec. Man, what a game from the young stud, the phenom defenseman, the Dougie Hamilton complete replacement. Who needs that? Opinion's awful. Nemec, what a game! Goal, assist on the first goal, assisting to Holtz. Second goal, shot from him. What else was there from this game? I feel like we dominated 5-on-5. Special teams completely almost sank this game from the power play going 0-6 to giving up the power play goal to start the game to giving up the shorthanded goal to give them the lead at the end of the second. A little bit to talk about in that one. Let's go ahead and start from the top. In the first period, I felt like 5-on-5, we dominated. Second period, 5-on-5, we dominated. Third period, 5-on-5, felt like we dominated. Except, of course, the penalty kill once again gives up a goal against. Now, I don't think the penalty kill did anything too horrendous on that one. I haven't gone back and actually been able to watch the full replay quite yet, but my reaction to it was Vitek gets screened, puck goes in, but he had a clear look of the setup. It's not one of those clean screens where you're following a puck all around your screen the whole way and completely lose it. He had eyes on the puck and the shooter right before the shot is ripped, and then the screen does come across as it is in transit. But that's one of those tracking things that still maybe should have been a little bit closer, hits them and just goes in, something like that even, but not the best goal to give up against, in my opinion. Maybe I might be being a little bit hard on Vitek in that one. I just don't feel like he had the greatest game overall, even though initial numbers coming in, analytics seem to say that he had a above average game in that one. But from there, it was the start of the Nemec takeover there in the second. The beautiful, beautiful pass. Right before that, he makes the blue line keep in, stick handles the puck to keep possession under pressure, and the beautiful pass over to Holtz for the wide open net setup. Beautiful stuff. Overall, I thought his game was pretty good at 5-on-5. I think actually the ball pairing at 5-on-5 actually drove most of the play. Luke Marino, I think, struggled a bit, and the Nemec pair I thought was fine. Siegenthaler maybe didn't have as strong of a game as Nemec did, which maybe overall is bringing the line down, but it is a pairing. They kind of bounce off each other, and I think sometimes Siegs does cover for Nemec, but I also think sometimes Siegs tries to cover for Nemec and gives up a chance against that we don't need. But not really. That didn't really happen in this game. Then from there, special team woes continued. I feel like the power play actually, at least the top unit, even the second unit, created chances. I mean, even on the last one, there was two high quality. The one from Bratt, we hit some post. To Foley just barely missed going off the shoulder. Nico had some great feeds. Yeah, the pressure up on Luke was something he probably was not used to, and you could see he was not struggling with it, but just adapting to it. And I think he still played against it overall fairly well. It's just with the amount of power plays we did get, none of them actually executing. It feels a lot worse for sure, and it's I'm never gonna say unacceptable, but you gotta probably score on one of those. Thankfully, hey, we still won in regulation. We dominated plenty enough on 5-on-5. Oh, I can't believe I waited this long to get into this topic, but Bedard hit clean from Smith there. Obviously, Chicago, considering the team of mostly plugs that they do have, they're going to take exception to that. They're going to snarl it up. They have to show that for sure. I thought the hit on Nico was absolutely dirty and unnecessary, but they're going to want to take their revenge. They try going after Jack, who ends up laying out Cini on the almost taking the hit and rolling off of it and then throwing his body back into it. I thought that was great out of Jack. You love to see that. Speaking of Jack, towards the end of the game, he looks to be injured. It did not look like anything, and it didn't even look like one of those, doesn't look like anything, injuries that is super scary, because God, I hope it's not that, but one of those injuries that are just, just twist his wrist and end of the game. He's like, the boys got this. Just feels tweaked. We did have a game tomorrow. Hopefully, you just hope a little bit of ice in the back. He's fine just by tonight or just sleeps through it, but back-to-back game tomorrow. Maybe they just played a little, maybe, we'll see. But fingers crossed, hopefully, just like Nico coming back, Jack will also be back as well for tomorrow's game. Speaking of Nico, I think overall that line probably struggled the most at 5-on-5 for us. I thought obviously the McLeod line rolled We could talk about his go-ahead game-winning goal from him. His stretch of just amazing play here since I don't know, almost the entire season, really. Going back even to the playoffs. If you want, I just can't really think of a slow stretch for him. He stepped in when Jack and Nico have been injured. He's absolutely crushing it in the bottom six role that he's in now, and so you love to see it. Although, don't want to skip over the special teams too much because the power play, while it still had its chances, it didn't convert. Also gave up the shorthanded goal. Jack with the excellent back check on almost giving up the clean breakaway. Toffoli does get it out, but then I don't know if that puck deflects off of the stick or if it did go in clean, but it also feels like one VTech should have. Now, if it was a really hard deflection off of the stick, which from the one replay looked like it might have been, I didn't quite see the angle that would have fully revealed that. If it's not a deflection, VTech has to have it. Even with the deflection, yeah, it doesn't feel great. Again, analytics seem to think that VTech overall had a better game, but I don't feel like he had to make a ton of stupendous saves. I don't think Chicago had a ton of high dangerous stuff either. It was really these two that went in were medium, I guess. Screen, benefit of the doubt there. Deflection, if it was, I guess, benefit of the doubt there. So, is what it is. We know what VTech's been all season, so maybe it's just being tougher on him because of that. But yeah, Mikey, game-winning goal, fantastic. Again, we just closed that 3-on-3. Toffoli gets the empty net goal. Not gonna lie, heart was pounding a little bit at the end there, even though I actually was pretty comfortable the whole time the game was tied. When we were down, it was just like, oh god, don't let this happen to Chicago. Soderboom, I thought almost could have stole this for them, but he doesn't. But we got that icing with it was Tierney, Toffoli, Holla. Holla's fine, but the other two wingers there, they were there with the goalie pulled. Then they had the icing, and then did not feel great. I say it a lot. In zone defense by Toffoli is not the best. He can definitely break up some plays, and in transition, neutral zone. I love Toffoli. Don't get it wrong. Just straight up in zone defense is not his forte. So survived there. He gets the empty net goal. Good for him. Hasn't been scoring a ton. Hopefully, I get some monkey out the back a little bit, but we'll see. I think he's had his chances. It's just a couple inches off here and there, but yeah, it really covers the game. To recap, Nemec is him. Power play, it's got to score special teams overall in that one. Almost thank us. Soderboom played pretty well. VTech, and that's going to do it. So, going to get this uploaded first nighttime one right after a game. And so see how this goes going forward. I know I and my wife are ready to go to bed. So, with that all being said, always and forever,